Good morning. It's PB2 Grand. My boo told me to start a YouTube channel because I like talking about the army and like the process of it, and I feel comfortable about it. And plus, I'm fresh out of like training. I'm a soldier now, but I'm fresh out of training, and it's just more fresh and better for me to explain it than IMC or whatever. And plus, I'm not gonna make this bitch like 10 minutes long, like all the other motherfuckers are doing, because nobody's gonna watch a 10-minute video. Promise you. But anyway, why I joined because I wanted to become a firefighter, but they told me I don't start getting paid until after 6 months of training. I was like, I can't do that. I need money now. So I joined. I graduated this year, June 8th. And like 2 weeks later, that's when I decided, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the army. And plus, my dad was in the army. He was a first sergeant, and he looked like he had fun. He'd be stressed because he was a tanker, but I don't know. I thought it was something for me because I don't want no basic ass job. So I joined like 2 weeks later after I graduated, and the process was easy. Basically, I called the recruiter. I'm reading off a fucking napkin because I get so distracted. I lose track of thought. I'll be talking about something else. Hey, look, I'm about to do it now. But anyway, I called a recruiter. He's like, oh yeah, come down to my office, blah, blah, blah. And my recruiter, he was amazing. He was an amazing recruiter. If you are interested and you call a recruiter and they don't sound as interested and you as interested in the army, then ask them for a new recruiter, because you have the right to do that. And one of my command sergeant majors, he always told us, don't go somewhere where you don't feel comfortable speaking your opinion. And that's straight facts, because you're not gonna get nowhere just sitting there and just being closed-minded all the time. But basically, I called my recruiter. He told me to come in and take this test. So you'll take a test. It's short, it's easy. Well, I mean, maybe not for you, it might be easy, but most of the parts were easy for me. Just not the fucking figuring out what the words mean or whatever, but I don't know why, but you'll take that test. That's just to see where you're at before you take the ASVAB or the PICAT. And it's short. You'll take it. You'll see what your score is. If it's not that good in an area, or if it's not that good overall, if your recruiter is good, they will tell you the parts to study that you should study. They'll give you websites to study from. They'll give you resources and all that good stuff. And I was kind of shady in the math and the word reading, so he gave me some websites for that. And I studied, and then he gave me another appointment to come to. I went to that. We went over like my job options and stuff if I get a good score on my PICAT, because I took the PICAT. If they give you the option to take the PICAT, take the PICAT, because it's not timed and it has less sections, and it was just easier for me. So then you'll go in, then you'll take the PICAT or the ASVAB, when depending on your score is the options of jobs you have. And I got a 60, so I had a lot of job openings, but I chose to be a 42 Alpha, which is human resources, because my mom didn't want me doing anything dangerous for my first contract. So I was like, okay, Mom, whatever, I got you. Because I'm a baby girl and this is my first time away from her this long. So you'll take the ASVAB, you'll do all that, and then he'll schedule you to go to MEPS. And MEPS is just like the most boring thing ever, I swear to God. It's the most boring thing ever. You're there all day, and they're basically just testing you, like your hearing, your vision, your health, making sure you don't have any drugs in your system or alcohol. I mean, if you're 21, you can drink, but they just don't want you drunk or like having alcohol in your system then and there. So you'll do that. It's just long and annoying. And if you're all good to go, look, I'll tell you right now, if you have something wrong with you, they're gonna make you go to the doctors and make sure that there's nothing wrong with you, like get a clearance from the doctors. So I'm in good health. You need to be in good health unless you want to do all those extra steps. You get what I'm saying? So then you go there. If you're good to go, you enlist. You'll be like, oh, I saw him do sweat. But for real, you do this. But I mean, take it seriously. It's like you're doing something bigger than the rest of the 99% of America, because only 1% of America, or really anybody, only 1% joins the army. So go ahead and sign up for it if you're interested in it. Just ask more questions. I'm basically making these videos because a lot of my peers, they're too scared to ask, or they don't know what to ask, if you know what I mean. But I'm fresh out of training, so I'm gonna be there for you all. So then you go to a recruiter a couple more times. If you can't make it to your recruiter, if they're good, they will make it to you, because the government gives them cars to do shit like that. So there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to go to them, or they can't go to you. And then you'll go to MEPS. And before you ship out, you'll go to MEPS again. And that's when you finally like swear, and that's like the done deal. Like, you're not going nowhere else, you're in the Army now. So then that day, the next day, you'll leave for basic training. Basic training is 9 weeks and a couple of days. You go to reception first. That's when they like check you in process you, ask you all these questions and stuff like that. Worst thing ever. You're like doing nothing for hours and hours, but I mean, they're gonna have to know about you. They're gonna have to know all about you. For real, because I mean, you're about to do something. You're about to be protecting a country, so they need to know about you. And then you'll go to your company and basic training. And basically, when you first arrive, it's called the shark attack. That's when they're like yelling at you and cussing at you, and you're like, what the fuck? And you're trying to find your bag, because they get everybody's bags on the truck and they just throw that shit everywhere, and everybody's trying to figure it out. And I'm like, but I wasn't scared, but I was like, where the fuck is my bag? Like, I got drill sergeant in my face, just yelling, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I just need to find my bag. So then you'll get there. The first couple of weeks are called red face. That's when like they're always on your ass. They're always yelling at you for everything. You're getting smoked all the time. I mean, getting smoked, if you take advantage of it, you'll do good on your PT test, and I'll tell you that right now. But you'll get smoked for a long time, and it's just a bunch of BS for the first couple of weeks. You don't do much. When they march you, they go left, right, and it's kind of boring. But then you go to white phase. White phase is when you start learning more. You start learning about fire team wedge and like how to move through to shoot the enemy or whatever. That was really fun. You go through the woods and stuff. Like, it's real deal. Like, and they be shooting blanks of 240s and blanks of mortar rounds, and it sounds like real fucking war. Like, that shit's fire as fuck. And then that's when you get PGs, and PGs, they take charge of the platoon. So whatever the drill sergeant tells the PG tells the platoon, and like they're basically the drill sergeant of the platoon. So never disrespect your PGs, because that's just fucked up. And that's when you start marching. Like, you sing cadences. I love marching. I love singing cadences. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Only if people stay in step, because if you're out of step, then it just looks like this. Like, it's a mess. But let me focus. But if you stay in step, hey, that should look fine. But for real, just pay attention to everything. That's when you start shooting too. You go to the shooting range all the time. And you basically get paid to shoot, eat, sleep, and work out, and march, and basic training. So take advantage of that. And when you shoot to qualify, and then sometimes you'll do confidence shooting. You'll just be shooting targets like outside, and it's really fun. It's really fun, especially if you never shot like an M16 or an M4. And PT is every day in the morning for like an hour or more or less, and you'll be doing all these exercises, and some days you'll have run days and all that stuff. And that's always fun for me, because I always wanted to work out, but I was never like, I never had the motivation in myself to do it. But you have many battle buddies that motivate you to do it. If you can't, like if you start to give up or you feel tired, they'll be there to motivate you. Like my battle buddy Herring, I motivate her, she motivate me. And that's my dog. Even though we don't talk every day still, that's my dog. I love her to death. Eating, you eat personal time. Eating, you eat 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And take it, and I'm telling you, At the salad bar, get all the salad you could get all the cereal you could get all the milk you can get, because you're gonna be hungry the whole day. Like, I was hungry 24/7. I was like, bro, when is the next time for chow? I'm so hungry. So eat. Personal time, you get like a hour less or more personal time, and that's like before you go to bed to shower and shit. And just take advantage of that. Like, write letters back to home, because you don't get your phone at all unless you pass your PT test. At least that was for us. Companies might be different, but for us it was a little bit harsh. So you only got a phone call if you pass your PT test, or if you get a bad letter from home and like it's legit, you can talk to your drill sergeant and they'll try to work something out so you can call home. Shooting was fun. What I guess? Oh, grenade. You throw. I know I said it's not gonna be 10 minutes, but it's probably gonna be like 15. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but you ain't gotta watch the whole shit if you don't wanna fucking watch it. But grenades, that was fun as fuck. You're throwing 2 live hand grenades. I'm 18. I threw 2 live hand grenades. You go like this. You say twist pinball, sneak peek, strike pose, frag out. Then you like, you get down, because the fragments, they can get back at you, but that shit is loud, and it is so cool to be 18 throwing a fucking grenade for free. Tell me where else you can do that at. That was fun. You ruck march. Ruck marching is like this fat ass backpack, and you march miles. Well, you don't march miles, but you walk miles basically. And that was fun for me because it's like, it's challenging. Like, I like challenging things, and like,
shit, I promise I won't stop. I never fold, never speak on what I know, what I was talking.
People can say they walk with a fucking 45, 35 pound backpack, big ass backpack on your back with an M16 in your hand for miles. Unless you're in the Army or any other branch of service. I don't think Air Force do that because they keep. But for real, like, you just, it's challenging and it feels good to be able to complete something like that. Because not everybody does that on a daily basis. On the weekends, Sunday is basically like your relaxed day. You don't get to sleep unless you're in a different company. We didn't get to sleep at all, but I was sleeping in the laundry room.
Gotta maintain why I'm taking these steps. 3 out my bros is still for 12. Sit and sit while I gather my thoughts. Forever doing what I was taught. These niggas ain't solid, they running their mouth. In Houston with dope, boy, I'm dripping in sauce.
You'll find out you can sleep anywhere. I was sleeping in the laundry room. Some people slept in the bathroom, but I couldn't do that because they didn't clean it good enough. They slept in the laundry room. They slept in their lockers. I slept in my locker a couple times. That was the best sleep of my life because I needed sleep. Saturdays, I know that's backwards, but Saturdays, they either have you doing yard work or they won't have you doing bullshit. They just have you sit in the fucking war bay and just blind down. That's when you should be studying like the material they give you or whatever. You don't take like written tests. They just ask you questions. Sometimes if you don't know it, you'll either get sent to the back of the chow line or they smoke you for a little bit, but it's nothing too serious. The forge is the last FTX you'll do. You do 3 FTXs, but the forge is the biggest one, and that's when you stay out 4 days, 3 nights. I think you stay 3 nights in the woods, no shower, so buy plenty of baby wipes, good baby wipes, and you do this thing called pugils, and it's like those foam sticks, and you get a helmet on and this pad, and you call out somebody and you start beating it with the pugil sticks. That shit was fun as fuck to watch people do, because some people had beef and they did it with the pugils and they was getting mad. One person, they rushed the man and he literally flew. Everybody's like, ooh. I was like, damn. Like, pugils is fun. You do that during the forge. And then you do this thing called Buddy Team Live Fire. And that's when, like, you got posts and you gotta run behind it. That's when you're shooting live bullets and you're right next to somebody. So like, if they cross your path, you could be shooting them. So that's when it's like real deal, like, shit, I'm shooting live bullets, I can kill somebody. So you're like, bye buddy, cover around me, bye buddy. And they're like, I got you covered, bye buddy. And then you run to the next post and then you start shooting the enemy or whatever. They have a little stand pop-up thingy, whatever the fuck. Then they say the same thing, you move. And then that's it. But it's fun because you're like, it feels like a real scene because you got people in the other lane shooting too. So it's like bullets over here and bullets over here, and you just got to keep moving and keep it focused and make sure your battle buddy knows that you're moving and you're shooting and stuff like that. And that was fun. And you do a whole lot of other stuff, but I'm not trying to take up all y'all's time, and I'm just trying to give y'all the basics because y'all don't like, some of y'all don't like to fucking listen, and y'all be having a lot of questions, but yeah. The forge is the last big thing you'll do. After that, you'll get prepared for graduation, you'll get your ASUs, you'll get fitted for them. Everything is given to you free, basically. The only thing you really pay for is, what's it called? Personal hygiene stuff, or like envelopes and stuff to write letters back home, whatever. And your family can send you care packages. Like my mom, she sent me toilet paper and cough drops and a notebook and some pens, because at the troop store they don't have color pens, and I like color pens because I like to take my notes in color, or I won't pay attention to it. But yeah, so the last week you'll get ready for graduation. You get family day. If your company didn't lose it or your platoon didn't lose it, which they might threaten they're gonna take it away, but they threaten they're gonna take ours away, but they don't take it away. So, but if your family can come, you spend the whole day with them, and then you come back, and that's when you get your phones, and everybody's like going crazy because they got all this money and they buying all this shit. Like people came out with new phones, fucking new shoes, and all this other shit, and I was like, I just bought a lot of candy. I just bought a lot of candy. I ate a bunch of food. You spend time with your family, and you never really realize how much you appreciate your family support.
Leaving my showing on hoes, they be chasing us, flexing so hard that them niggas be hating us. I remember ain't nobody believing us. They want a song,
because you gotta think about it. You're away from them for almost 2 months. No phone contact daily. Like you're away from them, and you're doing all this tough shit, and you just want to be able to go to your barrack at night and call them, but you can't. Like all you have is the letters they wrote you and stuff like that. So you never really realize how much you appreciate your family till then. At least I didn't. I was like, damn, my mama really drove fucking 12, 13 hours to come see me walk across the stage. But you'll have family day, you'll be in your OCPs then, and then you'll have your graduation, you'll graduate.
Always been my dream for to make it to the top deck. Like they don't believe, but shit, I promise I won't stop. No, I won't stop. I never fold, never speak on what I know. What I was taught, forever ride for my bro. What I was taught, fuck that bitch and let her go. What I was taught, stack my money up till I could buy a vault.
And then you'll be in your ASUs the whole rest of the day, and you spend time with your family again, and then you got to go back to the barracks because the next day you're going to be leaving for AIT, or a couple days later. Just depends on where you're going and what your job is, but I'll get into that in another video. But yeah, that's the whole rundown of basic training. You just have to be, it's 80% mental and 20% physical. Like, yeah, you're like, oh no, they do hour PT every day and they get smoked all the time. Okay, take advantage of it, because if you get a high PT score, you can get a medal. So I would take advantage of that. But if you're saying to yourself you can't do it, you can't do it, you're not gonna do it. And I can almost promise you that you're not gonna be able to do it. If you keep saying you can't be able to do it. But if you're like, nah, I got this, then you got it. Especially for my females, they like, a lot of them kind of gave up, like for a couple days and stuff like that. But I'm like, you a badass female. Like, we in this bitch, we getting smoked and shit. We outrunning the males. We out pushing the males. Some males couldn't even do 20 push-ups. Not in 19 my first time. Like, I really influence my females and my males too, but mostly my females, because a lot of females are scared. They can't be a girl afterwards. They can't be girly. You can still get nails, but not like no fancy ass nails. You can still have your weave or whatever, or you can still dye your hair, but it has to be natural colors and all that good stuff. But not that much to worry about. As long as you get through it, you get paid to do all the shit you're doing. So take advantage of it, and that's what I did, and that's why I love it so much. But I'll talk to y'all motherfuckers later, because a bitch finna go get some breakfast. So PP2 gram out.